I'm Nisha DeGaring.
And I'm Doug Jessup. Welcome to this episode of Family Heritage Stories, where we talk about what makes us who we are. Things like traditions, values, and culture.
How are these passed down through generations? Through words, through deeds, through stories.
When was the last time you thanked a veteran? It's time for Veteran Salute Stories.
My grandfather, James E. Johnson, he was in the 82nd Airborne, and he flew. He did the fights of all fights, and he was captured. He was missing for several months. He, an amazing man. His mother they were in Mississippi. His mom raised the 3 boys. All of them were in the military. So that was before Saving Private Ryan stuff. So she had 3 sons in the military. So both his brothers and himself were all in World War II. But my grandfather was a patriot. He taught me how to love our country. He taught me to vote. He taught me to make sure that we honored and loved our flag, and that we made sure that we did the things that we needed to do to fight for our country no matter what, and made sure that we had that honor always.
Veteran Salute Stories is made possible by a generous grant from the Fedora Foundation and viewers like you. There's something special about memories. It might be that one fragrance, or it might be that song, or just that TV commercial when you were a little kid. You know which one I'm talking about.
It's less than 2 feet wide, and it rolls on casters. It attaches to the faucet, so you can have water to wash your clothes. And it rolls on casters. It has 2 speeds, and it rolls on casters. It has 4 cycles, and it rolls on casters. But the nicest thing about this Whirlpool automatic washer is that you can have it installed permanently, and then it doesn't roll on casters.
What is one of your favorite memories about Grandma or Grandpa?
So tell me a story about one of your grandmas and grandpas.
So I was raised in Italy, and we would go to Sicily each summer for the summer vacations. And I remember my grandpa, he would barely say hi. He would just give me a few lire, which was the currency at that time, to go buy ice cream.
Was it ice cream or was it gelato?
It was gelato. You're right. Yeah.
I love Italy. It's beautiful.
Yes.
So, why is your heritage important to you? Why is being Italian important to you?
Oh, it is everything to me. It is a part of my culture, who I am, what I like to do in life, what I like to eat, where I like to travel to, relationships with people.
Is there a favorite meal that your grandmother used to make for you?
It was polenta. Mm-hmm.
Okay. For the people out there that don't know what polenta is.
It's a corn flour-based meal.
State guardando Storie di tradizioni familiari. Grazie.
Your history is everywhere, if you know where to look. But searching through all this, Are you kidding me? Actually, Kindex makes it easy to gather records and add them to your online archive, so everyone can jump in and index their records, making every word searchable. With Kindex, I know them anyway.
And now, Dad Jokes with Mike Agrilius.
What do you get if you cross a snowman with a vampire? Frostbite. What do a tick and the Eiffel Tower have in common? They're both parasites. All from the book, Whatever Floats Your Goat, the granddaddy of dad jokes, for kids and old goats.
What was the first car you drove?
Once upon a time, just after World War II, I was built. They gave me the title of a 1947 Chevrolet Fleetmaster Coupe. I was Grandpa Jess's last car. Grandpa died in 1950, but I went on till 1954. They parked me behind the shed on the farm. I sat for 40 years. Parts were removed till I was just a shell. I became home for birds and mice, and heck, even several litters of kittens grew up in me. The elements took their toll. I was used for target practice. Then the Millers inherited me. They showered me with love and attention. Over 400 hours of time was spent before I was able to be licensed. Now I have a new outlook on life. I'm powered by a Chevy 400 engine, Ford 9-inch rear end, Mustang 2 front end suspension, power steering, power disc brakes, tilt wheel, and a Mercury instrument panel. Now I have a companion in a 1937 Mullins trailer. It's a good little trailer. It goes where it's towed. I also get to be driven regularly.
A while back, a group of Vietnam veterans came to Salt Lake City for a reunion. And one of the wives called up and said, "Hey, Doug, can you do this interview?" I said, "I would love to." So I got these 6 guys flying in from all over the country. The 159th Dust Off Medical Evacuation Helicopter Unit from Vietnam. We're talking medics and pilots of Hueys. To give you an idea, they took the guns off the ship, okay, so that they could get more patients on there. So now you're flying an unarmed helicopter. And as one of the guys put it, they decided to put a nice little red X on their aircraft, which made for really, really good target practice. Every single one of these 6 guys had done over 1,000 missions. Every single one of these guys had saved over 3,000 lives. Half of them were Purple Heart recipients. They told me stories that I was just amazed with. The stories were not originally intended to go on television. They were actually private interviews, because we do that on Family Heritage Stories. But I asked them, is it okay if we made a special? And to my amazement, they said yes. Well, it went out there, and people like you responded phenomenally well. And then we also put it online. And something about a month later happened that was just like, wow. We posted these 6 stories. Not 1, not 2, but 3 of the stories had comments on them. And I'm a news guy, so I had to fact check. And so I asked these guys, hey, has anybody heard of this person, this person, and this person? Oh yeah, oh yeah. The comments were things like, this was the guy that gave me my orientation on the first day coming into Vietnam. He's the reason that I came home alive. Another one was saying, this guy literally saved my life. Wow. The power of stories is incredible. And that's the reason we started Veteran Salute Stories, and that's why we're asking for your help from veteransalutestories.org. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Zach Barry. You're watching Family Heritage Stories, and we'll be right back.
About 22 years ago, we were talking in the marketing discussions about we should have a jingle. And so we thought, well, who are we? What are we about? And if somebody was in their garden, what would they be thinking? And so the marketing director, she wrote it, and then we worked on it for a couple more months, and we got it just right. And then we had someone take it to Missouri and had a professional singer sing it. And we used to put that on the radio. But you know what? I decided that I learned the song and I'm going to sing it. So here we go. Great gardens begin right here. Beautiful flowers year after year. So much to choose from, so much to see. So much fun for my garden and me. For the best selection of plants and trees. Come on in and you will see why
every day's a great day at Mill Creek Gardens.
Ba 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 ba.
What does remember where you came from mean to you?
Welcome to this episode of Family Heritage Stories with my friend DeAnn Jensen, and that's Jensen with an O-N, just saying, right? Okay. DeAnn, thanks for coming on today. So we wanted to get an idea as to who you are, where you came from, all that kind of stuff. So first off, it's Family Heritage Stories. What does family heritage mean to you?
Family heritage is who I am. I am part of everyone that is a part of me because of our heritage together.
You went and applied for a very interesting job.
Yes. Well, after BYU, I was working at this engineering firm, and I worked there for 3 years, and my boss informed me that he was leaving the company.
Oh dear.
And I just couldn't take the idea of working for someone else.
Okay.
So I was at job service and took all the tests, typing in shorthand and English and grammar. And anyway, they told me I had done really well and that the Foreign Service happened to be at job service.
Wow.
And would I be interested in talking to them? And I thought, oh, why not? I'll talk to them. So I did. And before I knew it, they were sending out the FBI.
Oh my, okay.
And so I went through that, and then I got a letter saying that I had been accepted, and I just had this sign saying that I would go anywhere in the world.
Whoa, anywhere.
This was during Vietnam.
Oh, wow,
and I wasn't sure about that. So on the letter, I wrote, I will go anywhere in the world. There is a branch of the Elias Church.
Really? That's a great little snippet there. Okay.
Well, I got a phone call from the State Department, and they said, you can't do that. You have to agree to go anywhere.
Okay.
But we have a job here in Washington if you'd like to come.
Okay.
And I said, okay.
Sure, what the heck?
Why not? So the next thing I knew, I was on the plane going to Washington. Whew.
Yeah.
Never dreamed of such a thing.
So how long were you in Washington then?
I was in Washington 1 year.
Okay.
And well, I was there just a few weeks, and I had friends who were going to Paris and Peshawar. One of my friends went to Peshawar, Pakistan, and I just thought, this is once in a lifetime. You better go for it. So I said, yeah, I'll go anywhere. Well, I had to stay for a year at the State Department, and then they sent me to Belgium, where there was a branch of the Elias Church.
There you go. And chocolates.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, chocolates. So how long were you in Belgium then?
2 years.
Okay, and then what happened next?
And next it was time to go home for a leave after you've been there for 3 years with Washington, and they send you home for 3 months.
Okay. Anything special happen to those 3 months?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Do tell.
I met my husband, the man of my dreams, the one that I was waiting for all that time.
Oh, that's sweet.
I was 28, and it was time that I settled down.
Okay, and what was his name?
Grover Elias Jensen.
Okay, so inquiring minds want to know, okay, what was, and I might embarrass some people. Okay, we'll say, what was DeAnn and Grover's first date?
Our first date was, we went to a theater in the Round in Salt Lake. It was north of Salt Lake, almost to Ogden, I think.
But I'm gathering that you guys didn't pay too much attention to the play.
No, that's probably why I can't remember the name.
That's probably true. Okay, but you weren't singing.
I wasn't singing.
Okay, well, maybe you were in your heart. Okay, I know he was. It was like, wow, okay, yeah. So from your first date with Grover until he said, yeah, you know, hey, let's get married type stuff, how long were you dating before he proposed?
3 months.
Whoa, okay, Grover, go for it, buddy. So how did he propose?
We had gone to a play, and we came home and were just talking, and he leaned over and gave me a kiss, and then he said, I want you to be my wife. And I said, I'd like that.
I love it. That's cool. So after, okay, now, how long of engagement did you have?
3 months.
Okay, he liked 3 months. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
and then boom, off we go. If I get the numbers right. Okay, so 4 kids. How many grandkids?
18 grandchildren.
Okay, any great-great-grandchildren?
Great-grandchildren, I've got 9.
Wow, okay, so 4, 18, 9. Wow, okay. You and Grover have been busy. Okay,
Yes, we were.
had some fun.
Having fun.
There you go. The other thing that I wondered about is, and we've talked a little bit about this, you are a very well-dressed woman, okay, and you've got all these beautiful objects, and you've got this cameo, and you have some of those around here. And to me, objects with stories are treasures remembered. And sometimes it's passed down from generation to generation. So this cameo, from what I understand that you're wearing, has a special story. So where did you get that one?
Well, I got it from my mother, but I know it was my Grandma Jolly.
Okay, so how far, so you got it from your mom, and your mother's name was?
Laprille.
Laprille, okay, and who did Laprille get it from?
And she probably got it from her mother, Shalisha.
Shalisa, okay, and who does Shalisa get it from?
And Shalisha probably got it from Grandma Jolly. And that's who I remember wearing it.
Wow, and so what was Grandma Jolly's first name?
Isabella.
Isabella, so that's Isabella's brooch, okay, wow. That's pretty neat, and I'm guessing that's going to get passed down to somebody. Yeah, okay, so they need to know that story. How can we get our grandkids to know us better? What do you think? Any advice?
I think that's a good question. Yeah, spend more time with your grandparents. When they're gone, they're gone. And then you wish, I wish I had asked her what life was like. And how she got through.
There is a lot you can learn about traditions, values, and culture when you travel.
sitio perdido en el sur, entre gallegos y tanos. Soy un criollo mestizo y cantor que se acunó con el tango compadrón. Madre milonga llorando su amor, padre tambor africano y el paso doble de un barco a vapor, herencia de gaditanos. Mi hondo corazón late a tiempo de camión, diario, feria y mostrador, bohemio y reo, hecho a punta de facón, hecho a trupe y bandoneón, murga, tango y milongón, Montevideo. La irá, 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 la irá.
Broadcasting from Uruguay, I'm Doug Chester.
Objects with stories are treasures remembered.
The GS on this saddle stands for George Summers. Well, back in the early 1930s, this gentleman would go to the coffee shop, and on his way home, he'd stop by a saddle shop in Garland and give what he could to get his special saddle. Some weeks it was 25, 50 cents. After 2 years of contributing for this saddle, he decided to tell his wife about it. Well, she was not thrilled, and she made him sell the saddle back to the maker. Fast forward 60 years, a gentleman by the name of Stan Summers was hauling propane in Collinston when a Mr. Jensen came out and they started to talk. He asked his name and said, his name is Stan Summers. He said, come here, you need to check this out. So they walked into his tack shop and uncovered a saddle. It's more than a saddle, it was the saddle. And he had a silver gaucho on the back and uncovered this GS. Had an emotional moment there. Made him an offer of the saddle, and ended up that Stan gave it to his father a couple years before he died. And here's the fun part. That saddle, it went back into the barn that the grandfather built because it just happens to be the house that Stan Summers lives in. The saddle he never sat in, but the home his grandson lives in and appreciates it every day. Everyone has a story. Objects with stories are treasures remembered. From old paintings to new videos on your kids' devices, we're all trying to do one thing. We're trying to make a connection. It's the power of stories. How powerful are stories? We asked Maura.
It's priceless. It's priceless to me because when I was first sitting with the guys listening to their stories, it's something you just can't get back. And there's a lot of stories I wish I would have had recorded from my dad, my mom, my grandparents. So at least we were able to get these stories recorded. And to have them videoed and digitized is key because the younger generation, you know, sitting with my nephews, doing homework with them over COVID, they weren't looking at books, they were looking at screens, and they can look at this on a screen.
Everyone has a story. Sometimes those stories are told through music.
dell'età largo. La 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 la. Presto, bottega che deve già presto. La 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 la. Ah, che bel vivere, che bel piacere, che bel piacere. Per un barbiere di qualità, di qualità. Tutti mi chiedono, tutti mi vogliono, donne ragazzi, vecchie fanciulle, va la parrucca, presso la barba, va la sentigna, presso il biglietto, tutti mi chiedono, tutti mi vogliono, tutti mi chiedono, tutti mi vogliono, va la parrucca, questa è la barba, questo è il biglietto. Ehi! Figaro, 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 Figaro. Ahimè, ahimè, che furia, ahimè, che folla, uno alla volta, per carità, per carità, per carità, uno alla volta, uno alla volta, uno alla volta, per carità. Figaro! Sto qua, Figaro! Sto qua, io qua, io là, io qua, io su, io giù, io su, io giù, io su, però moltissimo sia come fulmine sul facotto.
What makes you smile? Spry mouthwash helps me smile. I think it might help you too.
It's our honor to be able to help people remember where they came from.
If stories are not passed down from generation to generation, they become lost. And it's as if these people never lived.
How do you want to be remembered? With another episode of Family Heritage Stories, I'm Doug Jessup.
And I'm Nisha DeGaring.